Hi there, Jorge Coxaj with another message today, and I want to talk to you about being on guard for your family. And all I'm talking about being on guard for your family, I don't mean being on guard against your family, like you're not going to fight them like some people like to do, but you're going to protect them. And this is a big one for me. I think it's very important that when we talk about being the man in the house or being a man in your family, that we talk a lot about protection and keeping your family safe. It was important for me to make sure that I kept my family safe, and it's important for a lot of men that I talk to keep their family safe. That's why we put the lights outside of the house and the security system and all of those things that we do in order to keep our family protected. That's the whole idea behind it. But our family also needs to be protected from spiritual things. We need to make sure that we have our family pointed in the right direction and that we have our family grounded in the right thing. In the case of today's lesson, we need to ground them in God. We need to ground them in faith. And we need to make a decision as far as who we are going to follow. Take a look at what the Bible says in Joshua chapter 24, verses 14 and 15. Now, the fear of the Lord, you can serve him with all faithfulness and throw away all the gods of your ancestors, the ones that they worship beyond the Euphrates River and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourself this day whom you will serve, whether the gods of your ancestors, the ones that they served in Egypt, beyond the Euphrates, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you are living. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Now, this is a powerful statement that Joshua makes because he wants to leave no room for doubt. Him and his family are going to serve the Lord. He has established the direction. He's established the priority for his entire family, protecting them not only from the attacks of the enemies, which they were in enemy land and enemy territory in a new place that they had to conquer, which they would face wars and all of these things. However, he also wanted to protect them spiritually. He wanted to make sure that they were protected by God, no matter what came their way, which was a great thing because there are some things that we cannot anticipate. There are some things that we cannot prevent unless God prevents them for us. So trusting in God is the best thing. And I want you to notice two things. This is, first of all, at the end of this book of Joshua. This is after they have already begun this conquest of the promised land. It's also after they had left Egypt. And what he's saying is you have to leave, you can choose. You can choose the gods of the past, which were in Egypt, the gods that people worshiped back then, or you can choose the gods of the future, the ones that in the land that we are in now, the people worship. You can choose either those. You can choose the gods that your people served before, or you can choose the gods that people will serve in the future. But what I choose is to follow God no matter what. It doesn't matter to Joshua what other people are doing around him, whether it's the gods of the past there in Egypt or the gods of the future now in Canaan. It doesn't matter to him. He is going to make a stand no matter what the people around him do. And you may be in a society or in a place or the people that surround you where they don't necessarily follow God. It's important to make a stand anyway. And for you to decide for your family, I will serve the Lord no matter what comes our way or what we face or the influences that try to convince us one way or the other. We are going to do what's right. And this reminds me of my little boy. I have an 8-year-old now. And we've been teaching them to not say certain words. Certain words are bad words, right? And we're trying to help them because we don't want them to be this kind of person in society, a certain kind of person that uses certain kind of language that is negative. So we're trying to teach them that. And we're out one day and we're with the church family and they hear someone using this language. And they come we have 2 boys. They come to us, to my wife and I, and they talk to us and they're like, hey, I heard so-and-so using this language. You've told us, they're adults, you've told us that we're not supposed to use that language. You've told us and you've taught us that language is not good for us to use and for us to say things like that. But here they are. They're adults and they're using that language. They're adults and they're saying those things. They're doing those things. And my wife very wisely told them, she said, yes, they can choose to do that. They can choose to do whatever they want. They can choose to be whatever they want. They can choose to go wherever they want. They can choose to say whatever language they want to say or they want to use. But we don't use that language. We don't use those words. And that's important because we're the ones that establish that direction for our families. If the people around us are all alcoholics, that's their choice. We choose not to be that way. If the people around us all use profanity, we're talking to our kids, that's up to them. They can do that if they want, but we choose to not do those things. That's a choice that we make. And that's what we see Joshua here making. And he's making it very clear. He's not talking to people who are Canaanites. He's talking to the Israelites. He's talking to the people of God. He's saying to them, look, you can choose whatever you want. And whether you go left or whether you go right, we're going to stay the course. And this is the choice that we are making. So my invitation to you today is to make that choice, to protect your family, to be on guard, not just for the things that could attack them physically, but for the spiritual things. And to start that by making the decision to choose God, God's culture, God's kingdom, God's perspective above all things, no matter what people do around you. And that choice will help to lead your family in the right direction and will help you be on guard for your family. God bless you and have a great day.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you were blessed by the material. We also want to remind you that there are several great ways to make sure you're staying up to date on our content as part of our 360 Legacy Plan. First, subscribe to this channel by clicking subscribe below. You can also download our incredible new app in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Just search Legacy Minded Men. And finally, visit our website at legacymindedmen.org for more information on what we believe, upcoming events, and how to join a group. Thanks again for watching.